Hello, here to open up the Akashic Records with you all. I am in the flow of doing some planning for myself, which is what I call my Akashic planning. I sometimes open up very formally the Akashic Records using a prayer that I've channeled, which to me is really this energetic key. Once I say those words, I'm creating trust in my body and all parts of me that I've connected to the records, but it doesn't have to have so much formality around it. You can just like say, I'd love to connect with my Akashic records and tap in. Um, Once you've created enough trust within yourself that, oh, and you know somatically how does it feel like in your body when you are channeling, when you're really tapped into your higher power, your guides, the universe, the life force that flows all around us, the intelligence that surrounds us. Or whatever words speak to you in your soul, replace it with any religious figure, God that speaks to you as well, that you feel and trust in your heart. I want the space to feel open and accepting to all beliefs and practices. I don't know if I can accommodate every single one of them because I do hold the belief that there is energy that exists even beyond us that is guiding us and shaping our life and life path and life story. And I understand if that is not your belief and story around this life. I understand that. So if this speaks to you, I'm inviting you now to create some sacred space. What I mean by that is just set a short ritual to set your physical space up to receive. Set yourself up to receive. If that means taking a bio break, getting some water, I might take a sip. I've lit a candle over here. Let me see if I can pick it up. Maybe not, it's a little too warm. I have some crystals and maybe I'll hold them. So, inviting you to do whatever feels good for you, for your body. I like to think of channeling or receiving, whether I may be the primary channeler and you are receiving. I also know and I believe, and my intention is that you receive, you activate your intuitive gifts as you listen. You get to receive what is in your highest good, your unique messages for you. And I have chills as I say that. So much so that I feel like I need to stop talking and drink water. And if there's any intentions, now's a good time while you're very much in your logical space to contemplate that, bring that to mind. Let my words invite that into your consciousness. Oh, I'd love to hear more about this, or I'm really feeling or struggling with this. Or help me just feel some relief or clarity. It could be even a word. It could be as simple as that. It doesn't have to feel complicated or I need to have this question and this answer figured out. And if a lot comes to mind, invite that in. We can solve a lot in this magical, energetic space where time almost stands still. And so, with that, I'm feeling the call to take a few deep breaths together and open up the records. Here we go. All right, inviting you all now to expel all the air from your belly through your mouth, creating space to take 3 deep breaths together in through your nose and out through your mouth. Whether or not you're able to close your eyes or if it doesn't feel right, you can always take a moment to take a deep breath and out through your mouth, letting your body settle and soften even more deeply in whichever space you are, whether you're walking, you're driving, you're going about your day, you're just seated on a bed, a chair, the floor, just letting yourself slow every single cell in your body down. It is when we slow that we can speed up, our vibration can rise, and we can reach for energy that's so, so high. All these chills as I feel the energy of our guides coming in. One last breath together in through your nose and out to your mouth. Letting yourself feel if you feel the energy of your guides. They show up for me as a lot of tingling on my body. Maybe it shows up as energy in your heart. Maybe you just feel love surrounding you. Maybe you feel a hug. Maybe it feels quiet and open. Maybe you're unsure and starting to worry about whether you're feeling this the right way. There is no right or wrong around this. We all have our own unique experience around feeling into the energy that surrounds us. And with that, I invite you to place your hand on your heart and bring all your energy and intentions into your heart space. This is a form of grounding when we connect to our heart. Let yourself smile as you send love to your heart, your soul connection, this chamber of love that always resides within you, this energetic space. It's when we allow ourselves to feel love and receive love here, is when we can extend that love to everyone and all around us. With that, stay in that place of so much love as I open up the records now. Of the light we see all around us, trust that you can connect deeply within, trust that you can connect deeply throughout, and trust that you can connect deeply above and below. This is the path to connect. Connect to the space above, the ground below, and all the energy and beings that you channel through at this time. This is the way, this is the space, this is the energy that you feel. Trust and connect and let it all be revealed. Set aside yourself, set aside your doubts, set aside any concern. Let yourself feel the energy of unconditional love. This is the magic, this is the beauty. This is the essence of the records. Trust that you are within them, part of them, one with them now and always and forevermore. Say this prayer and all will be revealed, past, now, and all future possibilities. Say this prayer, say these words, and trust that you are delivered to the doorstep to love, deep connection of knowing and understanding who you truly are. This is the space. Welcome. The Akashic Records are now open. Ooh, lots of chills. Going to try and warm my feet here. And as I feel into this energy, I invite you to feel into the space as well. How do the Akashic Records show up for you? Do you notice a difference in the energy and the texture of the space all around now that you spend some time tuning inwards? This practice of interoception, understanding your inner world, is a key practice of tuning in because that's how we connect with spirit, the universe, your higher power, is because it comes from within. It's not through your eyes and your ears. Sometimes it can when clear physical signs show up in our vicinity, but more often than not, we are connecting from within through our imaginations, these deep imaginings that can show up through our dreams, through sounds from within, when a song that comes out of nowhere in your head, when you get a message in your heart, or just a deep emotion in your heart that doesn't quite correlate with everything that's happened so far, you can know and trust that. That's you tuning into something greater than you. So, with that, be in your experience. You're always welcome to pause me. Know that everything I say or share is an invitation. You can lean into it, and if it doesn't feel right, you don't have to. You're sovereign and can exercise autonomy in every step you take. With that, I'm going to tune in because I'm feeling some collective message wanting to come through. There is a reason I felt called to open up the records, not quite knowing what to expect. So I noticed as I opened up the records, doors, like large doors that flung open. And to me, that's usually a sign that we are going to a certain place and a certain time. And I feel like I am back in a time that I have seen before. And when I say I've seen before while channeling, I feel like there is some significance about, sorry, why my nose feels weird. Um, because it just came up as I was tuning into the records and the energy here. So I'm feeling into the energy of an olden time. I can see almost so identical to the scene that I've channeled for a client not that long ago. There's mud, there are, I would call them maidens, they're aproned and have these little hats, white pinafore like aprons, and these like brownish dresses. They're walking. I can feel and hear horses around. I'm confused and puzzled as to why we're seeing this similar scene again, where I see a young maiden. I see this gentleman coming on this dark horse wearing a dark, like, suit. All the attire you could imagine of that time is what I see on him. It's very dark, very black. That's what I'm drawn to. Even the horse feels black. And he's dismounted. I think that's the term you would say for getting off a horse. And he's bowing and taking off his top hat. And this maiden here, she courtesied and he seems to ask for something. So, this is not how the scene played out when I saw this play out for my client. So, I'm curious what's going to happen. She runs in and she fetches a glass of water. And he feels relief. I can see him drinking the water and he's just like, okay, I got water. And I'm hearing him say, I'm famished. And she's saying supper will be ready soon. And then it makes me look at the sky and make sense of does this logically make sense? Because the sky is not bright. It is like dark, getting close to dusk. It's a bit of there are clouds in the sky. It's like cloudy, I would actually describe it as. There's a lot of hustle, bustle, activity going on around. I feel like people are all coming back and people are taking care of horses. And I heard the word stable. It's not like a very close stable, it feels pretty open. Um, and he says, now, wonderful. And so I feel like he's tying up the horse on the side. He's holding some kind of stick in his hand. I feel like that's customary of that time. Like there's a little loop on the end of it. There may be a name for this. I have no idea. Um, and this maiden woman is now running inside, and I feel like she's going into some inner room and just making sure that I see a lot of women working almost on the floor and like getting supper ready. I'm confused why they're more or less on the floor. And I feel like they're rolling something with the rolling pin. Um, hmm, it doesn't make sense because it almost had this quality of how you would make a roti. And I'm like, that doesn't match. Like, this feels very English to me so far. And I asked the guides, yes, we are in England. This is a time back in the 1700s. Oh, 1792 is what I heard. And this is a time when, oh, the guides want to talk. So many chills. You know, like women had to take a back seat energetically, physically, mentally. They had to forge their way ahead by taking care of everyone else. Oh my goodness, so many chills. I am lit up my head, my arms. Okay. And there was a time when they had to, I heard the word slave, like slave. I heard both slave away, but also there is like slave, like there was no real compensation for their efforts, for their gifts, and even ignoring parts of them, ignoring parts of like ignoring big parts of them because they were gifts that they could not express for. It was safe for them to be in the kitchen, behind the table, serving people, helping people, mending hearts and minds. That's something that was considered safe and right for them. For like the men needed to feel strong and they needed to feel capable. And the way they did that was by riding a horse and taking care of their people and going outside. I feel like I'm now seeing the male that I saw before, like ride out into the distance and look around these green pastures, is what it feels like rolling meadows. It's so green everywhere, but it's also not sunny, it's not bright. We're closer to dusk than dawn. And but they're the guys are saying like I can see him look to the distance and his hand is above his eyes and eyebrows and looking all around. And there's something that they're seeking too, that they're not able to tap into and express. They are not able to tap into and express. These men are also gifted at taking care of other people, of cooking, of mending. And I keep hearing the word mending in many respects and ways, like mending cloth and mending homes and so many such things that they could express some of it, but they had to be strong, had to be so strong. That was the important thing, is they had to be brave and strong. And so there was not a space for them to be soft, for them to be vulnerable, for them to feel broken. So they had to be strong and they always held it together. And I can almost feel this pressure of, if you were like something had cracked and you had to hold it together. So you'd put all this pressure from the side, trying to make sure it doesn't fall apart. That's the kind of pressure they were dealing with. And then they're showing me the women folk who were working in the kitchen and they experienced a different kind of pressure. It was like a pressure of suppression, of hiding, of keeping their energy so close to them. And it's the more you could shrink, the better, because you didn't want to get in the way of the men who had to project all this energy of strength, of taking up space. I can just feel their chest stretching out. It's very Tarzan like. That's how they had to be. Even when they felt small deep inside, they couldn't project that, they couldn't show that. And so it was a time of a lot of pressure. And I'm very curious why the guides are talking about all this. It makes so much sense to me and is landing. I feel it and I wonder and invite you to notice, do you feel this too? Does this spark some kind of soul recognition or understanding, either from your own past life experience or from your ancestral experience, even if it's not something that you never had an experience in the English lands, is what they're saying. It is all part of our collective history. And so we have memories, we have a connection and an understanding of this, even through media, even through books, even through stories. We know what this time felt like. Even if you didn't know about a story, someone in your family knew a story. And so you are energetically connected because this is a narrative that is carried down, carried forward. This is energy that holds you back at some level because that story existed and you accepted it. And that was the norm then. You all accepted it. That was okay. But you know so much more now in this time, in this unique, special time in this world. They really want to emphasize that. In this unique, special time in the world, you can be all of you. be so much of you in a way that you could not before, in a way that your ancestors could not before. Can you appreciate that? Can you appreciate how much of you can be? You can go online and be a completely different personality. You can find a different friend and have the time of your life. You can be super serious back at home. Like you can do all these things. It is so easy. It's so accessible. You can just find a blog of someone who is living a life that's more in line with parts of you that never got to be expressed, and you can live vicariously through them. There are so many ways to feel into all of your parts now than ever before, and you don't have to suppress it in the way they did. There is not this pressure. There has never been this pressure, but it is a story that your ancestors took on. So we invite you to. How can you be more of you today? How can you be even more of you tomorrow? What are some parts of you that you've forgotten? Is there a part of you that wants to play? Is there a part of you that wants to sing, that wants to dance? Is there a part of you that's wanting to indulge in something that you've been craving for so long? Can you allow yourself to play that way? Can you allow yourself to play that way? Oh, I am just feeling so joyful inside. And it's just such a personality of the guides that are coming through that's just making me smile. This is not at all how I talk. So I'm just feeling that arise within me and appreciating the guides for it. Ah, it feels like the energy is quiet. And so I am just taking a moment to be with that message. I love it. I agree with it. In some ways, I'm like, and I know this. This is not revolutionary. I get this. And the guys are laughing at me and saying, like, are you really doing enough about it? And I have to admit I'm not. Like I can do so much more. I could dance so much more. I could like paint and have fun. Like there are ways I have access to things. And they're saying like there's so much access to things too. Yes, yes. Like you could not. Like things were so stratified in that time. Only if you had a certain level of wealth could you do a lot of things. Otherwise, you were very limited in your existence. And that's okay. That's a certain experience, but you have access to so much more. You can buy things from across the globe and it can be on your doorstep. You can pay for an experience. You can learn from someone in the far corners of the world. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can do now. Are you doing it all? Are you letting yourself dream? Ah, so I guess I'm inviting you all to receive that message, whatever lands within you, whatever it activates within you. Let yourself dream. I invite you this time to maybe journal, maybe reflect in your mind and capture it in some kind of system that you will go back to, be it a reminder, a task planner, a diary. I invite you to come back to it though. So, whatever is a way for you to review it, maybe it's even telling a friend who will be a sounding board for you, whatever works for you. What are these dreams, these suppressed dreams, these ways to expand and be more of you that you've been hiding, ignoring, thinking about? Maybe it's something from childhood. Maybe it's something you saw on a TV show. Maybe it's something that your kid, your pet reminded you of. Whatever it is, allow for yourself to dream and write that dream down. Acknowledge the dream and see how you can make it happen. For you are magic and you can do so much in this life. And the guides wish to remind you of that, that despite the heartache and challenges that you may face, that you have access to so much and that you can be so much in a way that many parts of you couldn't be before. And your parts deserve to have that experience because you came to live life here fully. And with that, I'm getting the sense that this message is complete. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for taking it into your day. If it feels too soon to do anything with this message, just allow it to percolate. The guides are telling me as I'm feeling it too. Don't let this be a message that creates more pressure. Like, oh, here's this other next step that I need to figure out. How can I be more of me? No, you'll get an idea. You'll be inspired. Something will come your way. It doesn't have to be this. Another thing you pressure yourself to do. No, 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 no. I love how they said their no's. Um, and with that, they say they're complete. So thank you. And I'm getting the nudge to keep going with my own practice, but I'm going to help close the records so that you can all feel into this energy, but also create a container around it. Knowing that you can always come back, always listen if it feels right. And if this is all that you needed to experience today, thank you for receiving. I thank the magic of the space. I thank all the energies and beings that I channeled through at this time. I give gratitude to everything that came through. The records are now closed, the records are now closed, the records are now closed. And so it is with love and gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for receiving.